abandoned places. I guess we know the score. On and on. Does anybody know what we are looking for? Another hero, another mindless crime behind the curtain in the pantomime. Hold the line. Does anybody want to take it anymore? Show must go on. The show must go on. Yeah. Inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on. Whatever happens, I leave it all to chance. Another heartache, another failed romance. On and on. Does anybody know what we are living for? I guess I'm learning. I must be warmer now. I'll soon be turning round the corner now. Outside the dawn is breaking, but inside in the dark I'll make it to be free. The show must go on. The show must go on. Yeah, yeah.
Span Kop was part of your life, you know. When you were growing up to Windsor, you were going, I'll see it in the Kop. Everybody wanted to see one another in the Kop, and what was Windsor Park? But it was really special.
Can it be that it was all so simple then? Or has time rewritten every line? And if we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, would we? Could we?
All good blue men started in the Kop when we were kids, lifted over, paid a tenner to get in, stood up in the corner of the Kop. It was a place to meet on a Saturday afternoon. And those days football was football, there was no nonsense. Come to shout for your team, and that was about it.
I remember standing in the Kop when Jackie Milburn was playing for Linfield. That was between 50, sometime about the late 50s. Now, I remember Jackie Milburn scoring goals, and he did score goals, but the Kop is something special here for, not only for Linfield fans, but for people who came here to watch Northern Ireland. And it's certainly a bit of history, and it's going, unfortunately, this is the way of the game, and we're moving now to seated stadia, and that's what it's all about, I suppose, but it is sad.
Memories may be beautiful and yet what's too painful to remember, we simply choose to forget. So with the laughter we will remember. Whenever we remember the way we.
I was a Kopite way back, believe it or not, in the 30s. One of the earliest matches I remember was just after Joe Bambrick had been transferred to Chelsea. Chelsea came back the next year and played a match against us. And then I also remember an Everton Rangers match at Windsor Park, but that's a long while back. Then as I grew up, I was always on the Kop, week after week, when there were the crowds in those days for league matches of 20,000, 25,000, and internationals, of course, up to 58,000. They were great days.
Windsor was seemed much bigger in those days, and I was a small boy of about 10, just about 5 to 3. This team in red come out. As I was looking towards the tunnel, out comes this team in red, and there's a little bit of a cheer. Just seconds afterwards, there was this mighty roar, and away in the distance, I seen these little figures in blue coming out, and for some reason, I just started to cry. And that's my first memory of Windsor Park, my first memory of Spy and Kop. It made me cry.
First game I was ever at was an international just after the World Cup in '58, and I remember it so well because it was against Wales. Peter McParland scored a goal with his head from 18 yards, and I remember the jerseys well. They were big V-necks away down to here, but the crack on the Kop was absolutely brilliant, and I watched an awful lot of games from the Kop, especially when Linfield were in Europe at that particular time. And as I say, the crack was brilliant. It's a sorry night certainly, but it's progress, isn't it? We're getting a new stand, but it's part of history going. And as I say, it's a very sad night for a lot of people who have had fond memories on it.
I stood in the Kop as a child, and I remember there used to be like a little confectionery place at the very back of the Kop, and I remember standing up there the day George Best played for Northern Ireland, the famous game against Scotland, because I couldn't see the match, and I climbed up on top of the confectionery stand. But yeah, I mean, it's nostalgia, but times have to change. It's changed at Anfield, obviously, where I remember training from a prison job in 1968 and standing in the Kop every other fortnight. But I mean, they now have their all-seater stadiums, and I think it's just, as you said, it's a sign of the times.
When I was about 11, 12, I stood there for years and years, got soaked, all weathers, and it'd be sad to see it go, I suppose.
Yeah, it was a common thing in those days where you didn't have cover, and the Kop was the standard of the day. I was in that ground at 62,000 back in 1958 when we played Italy. We drew with Northern Ireland, and they went to qualify in January that year.
My best memories, I think, was the night of the Billy Millen beat Manchester City, 2 goals on that side. We were 1-0 down, and Millen hit 2, and we thought we were going to go on and defeat. We beat them 2-1 that evening, but we went out on the away goal or something.
We got beat. I remember us getting beaten. We were very fortunate to go away, or to go through on the away goals rule. And there was a lot of controversy. I can't remember what for. The referee didn't give a penalty, or something happened like that, and then all of a sudden all hell broke loose. And bottles started raining down on that end. I was at that end in the second half, and I think it was Billy Bingham came round and tried to calm the crowd, and he did his best, so we got through the game, but it was quite a bad night that night.
Grass is growing, it's time to move on, time to get going. Broken skyline, moving to the airport. She's an honest defector, conscientious objector, now her own protector. Yeah, broken skyline, which way to love land, which way to something better? Which way to forgive me? Which way do I go? Yeah, it's time to move on, time to get going. What lies ahead, I have no way of knowing. But under my feet, baby, grass is growing. Yeah, it's time to move on, time to get going.
Well, I suppose, you know, all good things come to an end. If you look what happened at Liverpool as well, the Kop closed and they put seats in. After a while, they'll get used to it. They'll get used to it.
A lot of the Liverpool fans will go that end. I know last year it was full. I'm sure the people come here regularly. It'll be sad to see it go, but you know, times move on, and you know, it'll be sad.
I've just been reading it in the programme. It's the last night. So, I mean, it's going to be a shame, but I mean, you know, it's a few years ago that our Kop went down. So I mean, that was a sad day for many supporters that stood there for years. So, I mean, it's hopefully it's going to be a good game to, you know, one to remember for the stadium.
In the end, everything all good has to come to an end. I mean, it's the same at our place. You know, for safety reasons, security reasons, it has to do it. But I mean, it's always sad to go. Hopefully, they'll go out with a bang, a bit of a party atmosphere tonight.
It's a sad time, but I think it's probably it's forward thinking, and after the likes of Hillsborough, which we had a terrible tragedy, the all city grounds have taken over in England, and I'm sure there'll be a success in Ireland as well.
I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant, but nothing, I said nothing can take away these blues, 'cause nothing compares to you. It's been so long without you here, like a bird without a song. Nothing can stop these lonely tears from falling. Tell me, baby, where did I go wrong? I put my arms around every boy I see. They only remind me of you. I went to the doctor and guess what he told me? Guess what he told me? He said, girl, you better try to have fun no matter what you do. But he's a fool, 'cause nothing compares to you.
I came out last year and we had a great reception, big crowd, and it was a good game, so we're looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I missed coming last year. I was injured, so I missed the game, so I watched it from sidelines. It was a good, competitive game, and I'm playing tonight, so I'm looking forward to it.
We had a great reception last year. It was a very good game, very hard game, and we're expecting one tonight.
Definitely, always glad to come to Windsor Park.
I came out sort of towards the end of last season. I sort of did an appearance at a shop here, and I think it was like 4,000 or 5,000 people here. It was, it takes you back really. There's a big rivalry here, obviously Liverpool and Man United supporters, but like I say, they turned out in the numbers last year, and hopefully they will tonight.
As you can tell, they turn up in their thousands tonight. So I mean, with the new Liverpool shirts. So I mean, it's important for us to give them a good show, and we realise how big we are over here. So as I say, we're coming here to win the game.
We've just been to Norway. The support there's phenomenal. It's the same here. Everyone walking around in the red shirts. We've travelled a fair distance tonight, and I mean, everywhere you go in Ireland, it's the same. And I think that's why we come over here all the time, because we love. I mean, a couple of the lads are playing for their respective countries, and we love coming over here and playing against the opposition.
We get a lot from Ireland. So I mean, it's as I say, it's. I didn't realise signing for Liverpool that we are so big over here. But I mean, everywhere in the world, Liverpool are a big club. So I mean, as I say, everywhere we do go, we have to put in a good performance, not let our fans down.
The Kop at Anfield. You miss the atmosphere because the atmosphere isn't as strong. But I think after what's happened in previous years, I think it's a good idea.
You miss it because it was, what it was is over the years, 28,000 people stood there cheering and shouting. So obviously you miss it from that point of view. But the people that have gone in now, they're trying to make it a different atmosphere.
It took a few months to get over it, but I mean, as I say, you've got to forget about that. The most important thing is the football on the field, and as long as your team plays well and you get behind them, it doesn't matter where you stand or you sit. I suppose it's just the results that count.
Well, I was actually an Evertonian, so I was in the gladder street as such. Maybe I did sneak on the Kop once, but that was to support Everton. I don't think it counts. I supported Everton, but very quietly.
I understand that it was taken, the idea and the concept was taken from the Liverpool concept of the Spine Kop, which came from South Africa, the Kop during the Boer War. And the Kop at Anfield came into being about 1907, 108. Now Windsor Park wasn't bought or erected or developed until about 1911, 112.
The Kop meant everything to Linfield. I mean, it meant a goal up to them. Maybe more than a goal up, because I mean, they were inspired once they got that roar. It's so sad that you can't hear that, you can't relive that there, but it was tremendous. It must, Adam. Many a time I dreamt about playing in front of that Kop.
It was coarse, it was raw, it was sexist, it was sectarian, I suppose, in certain contexts. Having said that, there was a lot of actually good. The Kop did produce many memories, and with big crowds, you'll always get on things said, maybe things shouted, but in the heat of the moment, some great internationals. I remember Jimmy McLaughlin scoring 2 or 3 for Northern Ireland.
I can't remember it. 1964, the 5th of October. I got the 2. It was fabulous. I mean, as I say, there was 60,000 nowadays, you know, and that was marvellous, absolutely marvellous.
It was tremendous, you know. You knew that they were 100% behind you. My last international appearance, I scored the winning goal against Denmark, and I'll never forget it. It was a header, and absolutely brilliant. I came on as a sub for Derek Spence, who had come on as a sub. But yes, it's very happy memories, and it's just a sad night, but progress.
Don't go out and be apologising for yourselves. Obviously give them the respect for who they are, but don't over-respect them. Don't be standing back and be nice and easy and say, there you are. Get stuck in.
Come on and shine, shine like a star, shining so bright, like the star that you are. Oh, shine into the future, spreading your light wherever you are.
We've had Liverpool here for 2 years in a row. It doesn't make it any easier because more companies want to get involved, more hospitality, everything along that has to be gone out and sold for every game. So it goes back about 6 weeks, and on the day itself it starts very early. You're trying to juggle a few balls up in there, and hopefully they stay in there.
Well, there's a big lot of organisation goes into it. Obviously when you're talking of a 20,000 crowd plus, there's a lot of administration behind it. However, the pattern was set largely last year when we had 24,000 here, so this year was largely a follow-on from last year, the procedure. We did a bit better this year in that we took in more outlets in the province, and that helped a lot. It precluded a lot of postal applications coming in, made it easier for a lot of the provincial people to get their tickets, having not to run to Belfast or post them in. So from that point of view, it was this year was slightly simpler, but still quite complicated.
It is a big occasion here for us tonight, and hopefully we'll have 20,000 people for the game. We've printed 10,500 programmes, and that's usually, we work on a sort of 1 to 2 basis, as in an international. So we should shift most of them. We've really come a long way. I mean, whenever I started coming to Linfield, programmes were 2p. Now that was the old tuppence. It's now £2 for a programme at Windsor Park. Although I understand Portadown for the recent game with Manchester United. That's Manchester United. They had I think their cost actually £3.
And I think we're serving somewhere in the region about 375 meals tonight. That's up over 100 in last year, so we're looking very good.
It's a big undertaking because it's not very often we get 20,000 plus people in the ground these days.
Promises to break, just tender love and honesty.
A great occasion here at Windsor Park as Liverpool make their return visit for the second successive year. splendid reception for both teams. The Linfield captain tonight is Noel Bailey, a great honour for him. Fitting tribute to Liverpool FC, and what a send-off for the Spion Kop here at Windsor Park. The very last time spectators will make their way up the steps and stand on that famous piece of terracing. Tomorrow the bulldozers move in, and very shortly a £2 million development, a brand new stand, will be erected here at Windsor Park. Referee for this evening's game gets proceedings underway. Linfield in their new strip, the royal blue and white, new sponsors too, auto windscreens. Here's Collier, new signing from Lauren, just played in the pre-season games, headed back by Ruddock to James. 2 is the Republic of Ireland international Phil Babb, John Barnes, Ruddock, Mark Wright. Collymore had made a good little run there away to the right. Here's Mark Wright again. Liverpool content to toy around with Linfield in the opening moments of this game. Babb surges forward down this left-hand side. It's Jake Bornaby made a good run. Here's McManaman now. McManaman, beautifully balanced footballer. Michael Thomas, away to the right is Robbie Fowler. Good piece of defending by Noel Bailey. Corner for Liverpool will be taken by Stig Bjornaby. Fowler's on the goal line. Tried to get his head to it, cleared in the end by Darren Brush. Headed on by Easton. Offside, John Easton. Good enterprising football from Linfield though. Liverpool beat Linfield 1-0 here at Windsor Park in the corresponding game last season. Hoisted through, meant for Collymore. Just couldn't quite control it. First touch let him down. Good tackle by Collier and Fowler. Bailey. Again, good work by the Linfield number 11.
I stood here when I was 10 years of age originally, you know. I wouldn't say original cop, like, don't be wrong, I'm not that age, but 10 years of age was first support Linfield. And I was here tomorrow, as we're digging it up, I take a wee bit home with me and keep it. And that's where I came to Kop, and not because I couldn't afford to stand, like, you know.
Magic, got a bit of it here in my pocket. Bit of a Spion Kop.
Won't be as good as this. Whenever Linfield beat Glentoran, it's a bit best atmosphere ever, especially on Boxing Day.
McManaman. And here's Collymore. Mateo was away to his right. McManaman's going himself. Tackle in the end by Spears. But Linfield with some frantic defending in the opening 10 minutes here. Now here's Easton to Bailey. Dan Collymore for Liverpool. Wayward ball. Crowd enjoyed that. Linfield crowd anyway. Linfield content to play the game. Liverpool content to play the game at their own pace, certainly. Here's Jeff Spears to Tony Gorman, playing his first match for Linfield, of course, to Stephen Collier, new signing from Larne. Thumped away by Ruddock. Collymore with Spears in attendance. And Spears will remember that particular piece of defending for some time. Splendidly done, and then again by Big Jeff Spears. Now McCush. Got Gorman to his right. Here is Desi Gorman. To Tony Gorman. Darren Brush. But McManaman nips inside Brush. Through the middle is Collymore. Fowler's there as well. Now here's Collymore. Linfield defending frantically, but they bring it away yet again, even though Liverpool are just at a stroll. Now Collier, Gorman. Liverpool make a substitution. Coming on, Jamie Carragher, and coming off, Neil Ruddock. Here's Phil Babb for Liverpool. And it's Seo. Babb again. Liverpool just waiting for the opening, just waiting for the opportunity to strike. Here's Mateo again. To McManaman. To Babb. Linfield content just to stay back off their men. Probably rightly so. We don't want to push too many forward, because Liverpool will hit them on the break very, very quickly. Mateo to Thomas. At least 25 or 30 passes Liverpool have held the ball for. Don't often see that in the frenetic nature of the Irish League. Now John Easton. Linfield have possession back again. Stephen McBride awaits in the middle. McBride's header misdirected, but the first even sniff of a chance for the Blues in this game. By right, meant for McManaman. Spears is covering across and sensibly opts just to concede the throw.
Still not many times. Best time was when we won the league, beating the Glens last match this season.
Yeah, because last time at the Kop it's just going to be different from now on.
It was a sad day, but I'm sure if they move on and sort of get it in all-seater stadium, and hopefully we'll get a team on the park that'll suit the actual stadium as well.
It's good. Sad to see it go.
Chance for Linfield perhaps, but the push just couldn't quite squeeze his way through. Liverpool going the offensive very quickly. Ball just a little too far from McManaman. Didn't exert himself too much either. Gorman, McBride, back to Spears. Linfield taking the Liverpool option here of trying to retain possession for as long as possible. And that's the end of that. Mateo just shrugs off Stephen McBride.
Brilliant. The two best teams in the world. We'll all miss it.
Free kick for Linfield. Their new signing, Tony Gorman, number 6, is over the ball. He certainly has a reputation to strike a ball. Gorman's first power blaster free kick in a Linfield shirt. A couple of feet too high. Now Mark Wright. Matteo. First touch control of Liverpool really is quite superb, as you would expect it to be, of course. But nice to see those skills displayed here at Windsor Park this evening. So Babb pressing forward. Now here's John Barnes. Collymore waits in the middle. Babbitt made a good run away to the right. Collymore. Ball back in was meant for Fowler, but Spears is there again. He certainly had an eventful first half. Now John Barnes for Liverpool. Collymore fairly static. Here's McManaman. Takes on 4. Collymore. Away by Spears again. He's been the star Linfield defender certainly in this first half. Beautifully read there by Mark Wright. Matteo's done well. Gets past Collier. Now McManaman. Takes on Collier. Already beaten him a couple of times in this game so far. Opts to use Matteo. Now Michael Thomas. Liverpool not being sucked into the Linfield pace of the game. Mark Wright shouting to slow things down. Here's Matteo. Bjornaby back to Matteo. Now McManaman. Michael Thomas made a good run forward. Desi Gorman tussling with a couple of Liverpool defenders. So Babb was one of them, Mark Wright the other. Mark Wright weighing up his options. Thought about the long ball to Collymore. Might just try it again this time. Linfield back forward, just trying to catch Liverpool on the hop. That's a good little ball threaded through to McManaman, just a little farther, and Spears was there. Keep it a score by Gorman too. Tony Gorman to Stephen McBride. Hasn't got too many in support for him. Desi Gorman has made a good little run through the middle. Here is Desi Gorman. Controls it well. Just couldn't quite keep the ball under control in the second attempt. But Linfield are back in possession again. That's flicked through to Stevie McBride. Bjornby, the safe defender this time. McManaman. Ball meant for Collymore. Darren Brush is defending. Away by Williams. Hanging in the air. Matteo's header beautifully directed to Bjornaby. Got McManaman. Phil Babb, urged on by his captain John Barnes to start pressing forward a little more. The rest of the defensive fooling around. Now here's Bjornaby for Liverpool, crossed into the middle, across the face of the goal mouth. Thomas, McManaman. McManaman up against Gorman, chips one through for Fowler. The Linfield defence has certainly been resolute in the first half so far. Michael Thomas, Barnes. Support for, opts to go all the way back to Babb. Now here's Matteo. Bjornby to his left. Barnes made the run into the middle. Good pressing by McCush. Collier was in there. Barnes to McManaman. Better football now from Liverpool. Should have been a free kick, I think, against Alan Brown there, but not awarded by Herbie Barr, the referee. Collier. Tripped by Bjornaby. John Barnes, the captain, audibly showing his displeasure. Now Now McManaman pressing forward. Spotted a little gap, threads the ball through to Collymore. Back to McManaman. Chips one through, but too far for Carragher. Fowler to Thomas. Now Mark Wright. Liverpool starting to press forward now in numbers. Collymore's made a great run. He's onside as well, Stan Collymore. Fowler awaits in the middle. Good tackle by Jeff Spears yet again. Appeals for a penalty, not given. Fowler. Lovely little back flick to John Barnes, but a good dispossessing tackle by Alan Byrne. Kush. Stevie McBride's through the middle, he's onside as well. Stevie McBride, chance for Linfield. McBride did very well. His shot wasn't too far off target. McBride returning to Linfield this season from Glenavon. And Linfield's best chance of the half. Tony Gorman, new signing from Coleraine. Collier's made a good run away to his right. And Collier gets away from Burnaby, initially anyway. Collier's done very well indeed. Brought down by Burnaby. And a free kick for Linfield. Plenty of men in there. Driven in low. And a good save by David James. Here's McManaman. Free kick given. McCush with the foul. Burnaby floats it in. Headed away by Bailey, who's had a very good first half. By Barnes. Mateo. To Mark Wright. Liverpool still trying to keep the pressure on. Now here's Michael Thomas. Floated in for Fowler. McManaman controlled the ball nicely, but a good challenge by McCush. Handball seemed to be against Bjornaby there. Play on as a referee. Here's McBride. He's got Gorman away to the left. Gorman is onside. Here's a great chance for Linfield. Desi Gorman, he's scored. Desi Gorman has given Linfield the lead against Liverpool. Magnificent scenes here at Windsor Park, and a moment that Desi Gorman will never forget. Well, I would say that will certainly bring this game to life. Through ball by Babb, and let me tell you, Linfield are up against it again. Fowler chips it through, and he's equalised. Half-time here at Windsor Park. Linfield took the lead, and just 30 seconds later, Liverpool were on level terms.
You have to make wee things, and just happens Spank Hop has to go. You have to make it seated for international, so just has to be.
Because like we just love our club, so that's why we're here.
Yeah, we got told it was the last day of the Kop today, so we've had that ourselves.
Standing, especially when they score, you know me, the movement. You know, you always like a movement when they score, you know.
It's just a different atmosphere, you know, it's a completely different atmosphere in the Kop. And years ago, like when the 7th Trophy team, when the Duke was here, Tommy Dixon, players like that, Jackie Mulburn, you know, Bun Hamill, the old Linfield, it was just a complete atmosphere. I've been here when that stand was built, you know, the old Gargers sign up. That was packed, over here was packed, you know. This was where the atmosphere was, in the Kop here, you know, this is Linfield.
There he is. What a star in the making there. Adrian Logan. Logan in, trying to challenge there. Not a particularly good tackle by the big man. Foot in by Mark Robson, and what a save by Frank Mitchell. Well, he's pouncing around there and the keeper's come off his line. He should wear that shirt while he's doing the weather. It looks like certainly better than a lot of his shirts he wears normally. Here's Pamela Ballantyne, shows some great first time skills there. Oh, great skill from Northern Ireland. Tina Campbell hasn't really a clue what she's doing. And Mitchell is almost beaten again. Now here's a great chance for the local celebs. But another good piece of defending. Now taking on Adrian Logan. It's a big target to get past. Can Mitchell make another save? No, he can't. Great to see Windsor Park almost packed to capacity. Linfield and Liverpool drawing one each at the moment. Mateo to Phil Babb. Now here's John Barnes. Collymore ambled through the middle. Back to Mateo. He's being chased by Alan Byrne. Now Mark Wright. England defender. Mateo, McManaman all the way back there. Touched by Thomas from McManaman, just a little hard. Here's Noel Bailey for Linfield. Wants to use John Easton to his left, who had made a good little jinking run. Here's Stan, the man, Collymore for Liverpool. John Barnes has made a great run through the middle, but Noel Bailey sweeps up again. Gorman. Superb effort by Tony Gorman. James watched it the whole way and it was just over the bar. Alan Byrne, John Easton, Darren Brush. Certainly Linfield playing with a lot more confidence now in the second half. Byrne tried to shrug off Barnes. Chance for McCush, he scored! Quite unbelievably, it's 2-1 to Linfield. Ian McCush can't quite believe it. Superb cross in, and what a finish by Ian McCush. Liverpool pressing forward again. John Barnes. Now here's Steve McManaman looking for an equaliser or a penalty, but Collier does very well again. What a night Stephen Collier has had here for Linfield. He hasn't put a foot wrong. Some excellent pieces of defending. Nice little touch there by John Barnes, congratulating Ian McCush on his strike, which made it 2-1. Giving him a few tips too by the looks of it. There's Collier. Linfield now trying to play in the Liverpool style. They'll try anything. Here's Desi Gorman, and he wins a corner. Well, this is splendid football by Linfield, and the crowd here are thoroughly enjoying it. Stephen McBride as well has made his way up for the corner, but safely taken by James. James throws it out, flicked on by Fowler. Bailey back to Williams. He makes sure with his punt clearance. Well, Liverpool certainly have intensified the pace here, no doubt about it, trailing Linfield from the Irish League by 2 goals to 1. Amazing. But no doubt they'll be in search of an equaliser very shortly. Manaman, you don't have to give him room like this, but Bailey again. What a great game Noel Bailey's had this evening. As Liverpool make another substitution. Coming on is Lee Jones, and coming off is Stan Collymore. Linfield make a substitution. Coming on is Paul Miller, and going off, Desi Gorman, Linfield's first goal scorer. Here's McManaman for Liverpool. Now to Jamie Carragher. Substitute. Here's McManaman again. Barnes wants it short. Fowler. Flicked on, meant for Bjornaby. Couldn't pick it up. Super long ball for the substitute Lee Jones. Good piece of defending by Bailey. Ball meant for McManaman. Good run by McManaman. Fowler's in the middle. Cross in by Lee Jones, meant for Fowler. Easton heads it clear. McManaman. Now here's Barnes. Lee Jones and Fowler in the middle. Taken by Williams. Here's McManaman for Liverpool in search of an equaliser still. Cross in by Carragher, much too far for Fowler. Barnes will collect again for Liverpool. Up went Fowler, frantic defending by Linfield, but the penalty has been awarded in the dying minutes of this game. Herbie Barr awards a penalty to Liverpool. Handball the reason. Linfield leading Liverpool by 2 goals to 1 on the verge of an historic evening here at Windsor Park. Robbie Fowler will take the Liverpool penalty. He's up against David Williams, the on-loan goalkeeper from Cardiff City, playing for the Blues this evening. Here's Fowler. 2-2. A quite amazing end to this match here at Windsor Park. Linfield still protesting, but a cool and a very calm penalty by Robbie Fowler. John Barnes. And that's it. This game finishes Linfield 2, Liverpool 2. What a night it's been at Windsor Park. A magnificent game here, and a fitting way for the people who stood on the Spion Kop to say goodbye to their beloved terrace. That famous piece of terracing will be no more. The last time people will stand on it. Tomorrow the bulldozers move in and a £2 million development will begin. A new stand at Windsor Park and the end of an era of the Spion Kop.
I thought we played really, really well. I'm disappointed that the referee gave them that penalty. I really am, and it's, I suppose I better not say too much. It's only a friendly after all. Didn't we play well? Superb. Superb, and you've seen things happen today. If we carry on like that, the spirit's good, we'll be back.
Very tired, but very good experience, unbelievable. As you see, the crowd's great and done very well, I thought, so I did. I just came to me and I hit it, you know, didn't even look at the ground, just heard the noise and it was in, so I was real happy. Good games, good workout. But Linfield were a bit more easier than they were last year. It wasn't that physical, but it was a good game, thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was a hard match, Linfield done very well. We were lucky to get a draw in the end.
They were very lucky. They're lucky to get a draw out of it. It's bad we'll have to get a penalty to get a draw.
I thought the draw against Liverpool?
Absolutely brilliant tonight. I thought Linfield played absolutely brilliant. And maybe lad thought he's coming back. He'll not be on the Spion Kop again, but he'll be at Windsor for the rest of his life.
It's a typical pre-season game, and Linfield made it difficult for us to close us down very quickly. And you know, it's a good competitive game for us. You know, we need to get sharp, and that's what these games are for. We play better than that, but as I say, that's what these games are for in pre-season. We don't need to look spectacular at this stage. We need to get sharper game by game, and we've got a couple of weeks left before the start of the season, and we'll be there. Last year, start to finish, 90 minutes, and it's, you know, I wouldn't expect him to get a goal that was 10 yards offside, but he did.
We've been organising the thing for weeks now, and the climax tonight, of course, the final result there was disappointing at the end, but 2 each with Liverpool's a tremendous result.
Don't wish it away, don't look at it like it's forever. Between you and me, I could honestly say that things can only get better. And while I'm away, dust out the demons inside, and it won't be long before you and me run the place in our hearts where we hide. Say that, it's a Chelsea mark. And I guess that's
with the health and safety laws now, we had to make this move for the international scene and for cup finals, etc. We need to get the additional seating capacity.
Linfield will own that stand, unlike the North stand, which is owned by the Irish Football Association at the minute.
Linfield have got to maintain that asset. And although we get some money from the internationals, that stand has got to be maintained all through the winter, all over the years when there's no international matches. So it's big money to maintain it, insurance and everything else, and the overheads go right up. And the occasions that we use it will be few and far between. It'll give us some additional capacity when we've got the like Crippnell or Glentoran ground, and we don't have the pressure then on the south stand. We'll be able to reorganise our facilities a bit better.
With the, as we call it, the West stand, I personally think it's a good idea. Now, it is a Linfield stand. Now, Linfield do contribute to it and pay the rates and the maintenance of that.
At Windsor Park we have moved now to, our stadium will be a 16,000 seater, and that can't be bad for internationals and revenue from internationals, and I suppose it's the pattern of the game. That's how it's sort of progressed.
They can enjoy it a lot more, and you're sitting in comfort. It's easier to control, and the police can control games a lot better when people are seated. And people go for comfort now, and they expect comfort. When you look at the Premier League grounds, you have to try to make that standard, and Linfield are trying to do that. And hopefully with this new stand we're going to seat 16,000 now, and that's a big crowd, and we look forward to a lot more big games like this in the future.
We're hoping to announce quite soon that for pieces of the Kop to go on sale. It is a very nostalgic area. It's where I first stood at a Northern Ireland match, and I'm sure a lot of people would like to have it in their back gardens or patio area or whatever. So we're looking into it, and hopefully, I'm told it won't be easy cut, but we're hoping to get it marketed properly.
Over the last few years, I think the ground has lost a bit of atmosphere for international matches. The stand is hopefully going to enclose it more. And let's hope in the future that we can then look at further developments, A with the south stand and B with the railway stand. So, you know, let's hope that we take a first step with the Span Cup, and that further developments will happen after that.
People say when you stand you can enjoy better, but I think when you're sitting comfortable and you're dry, and a tremendous crack that you get around you, people enjoy the game just relaxing now, and you're not moving about wet and damp and standing on an umbrella all the time. It's quite enjoyable.
Think of everything. You know, we've got a new line out in merchandising tonight, Linfield chocolate. We're the first club in Ireland to do our own chocolate, keeping traditions with people like Liverpool who have a sell of chocolate at their own grounds. So we're moving along with the big boys. All Linfield fans believe that Linfield's a big club, and we're moving along in that direction.
We're certainly on target for our completion date of the 20th of August when we play Germany.